Hello Year 2 and welcome to Monday's maths lesson where we're going to continue to be learning about fractions. I've been so impressed and I've seen different classes work, so not just MIT, Bath, BGU, some great work, shading 2/3, realising that 1/4 isn't shaded, drawing of fractions, understanding that when we have fractions we have equal amounts. Really impressed. Today we're going to carry on learning about unit fractions, but before we do, let's have a look at our do now. And we must remember a fraction represents part of a whole. If I was playing football with Blake, Casper and Sebi, and together we scored 8 goals, but I only scored 2 of them, I didn't score all the goals, I scored a fraction of them, a fraction of the whole. All right, so it's really important that we understand a fraction is part of a whole. But let's start today's learning with a quick do now. You're going to need a pen and paper to do this. So for your maths lesson today, you do not need to print anything. All I would like you to do is to complete the do now. What fraction has been shaded? Question 1. Question 2, question 3, question 4. You do not need to draw the fractions. Just have a think here. What fraction has been shaded? Pause the video and work them out, please. Then we'll go through the answers after. Well, welcome back. Let's have a look at question 1. Well, the first thing I do is count how many equal parts I have, because that will tell me the denominator. Because that's what the denominator is. How many equal parts has my whole been split into? Here's my whole, the triangle. It's been split into 1, 2 equal parts. Don't worry about how many have been shaded so far, just how many parts are equal. And there are 2. So my denominator is 2, which I write below my vinculum. Now to work out the numerator, it's how many have been shaded. 1. One of my equal parts has been shaded. What does that mean? 1 has been shaded. So now, what fraction of my whole has been shaded? I can say 1/2, because I read the numerator, then I read the denominator. 1/2. What did we get for question 2? Let's have a look. Step 1, how many equal parts has my whole been shaded into? My whole is obviously this circle, but how many equal parts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 equal parts there. My whole has been divided into 12ths. But how many of my 12 equal parts have been shaded? Because that will give me the numerator. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of my 12 equal parts has been shaded. Some of you might be seeing that 6/12 looks like 1/2. They have they have equal value. They're equivalent fractions, but we do not need to know that. So 6/12 of my whole has been shaded in. Let's have a look at question 3. Well, to work out the denominator, I need to know how many equal parts my whole's been split into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 equal parts. So my denominator is 5. How many parts have been shaded in? Well, now I need to count to work out my numerator. 1 of my 5 equal parts has been shaded in. 1 of my 5 parts has been shaded in. That means 1/5 of my whole has been shaded in. Let's have a look at question 4. First thing we do, count how many equal parts, because that will tell me the denominator. How many equal parts has my square been split into? 1, 2, 3, 4. So my denominator is 4. How many parts are shaded to tell me the numerator? 1, 2. So I know 2/4. 2/4 of my whole has been shaded in. 2/4 of my whole have been shaded in. Really well done if you've got all those correct. Let's move on to our new learning today. We are going to identify unit fractions of a quantity. Do not panic when you hear all these words. unit fractions of a quantity. A unit fraction is just what we call a fraction when the numerator is 1. It's got a special name. So that's all it is. A unit fraction is when the numerator is 1. 1,000th is a unit fraction. 1/4 is a unit fraction. 1/2 is a unit fraction. 1/5 is a unit fraction. Why? Because the numerator is 1. I'm going to say it, you're going to say it. Unit fraction, unit fraction, unit fraction. Well done. And a quantity is just an amount. It's a whole. It could be 4, 8, 16. So a unit fraction of a quantity. And there really are two key words today. We have unit fraction and quantity. And the rest of the lesson, I'm going to do on a whiteboard. You will, for this lesson, need your pen and paper to write your answers, and maybe some scrap paper to do some of your working out. And you will also need, okay, some macaroni, some cubes, some paper clips. Around 16 would be the max you'll need, and that's because you're going to be sharing those to help work out a unit fraction of a quantity. So now let me share my whiteboard. And hopefully now you can see the whiteboard. Fingers crossed. It's like a magic trick. And I need to just do this. And hopefully now you can see my board. So we're today looking at unit fractions of a quantity. Unit fractions of a quantity. So I will do the first question for you. I would like to know what I'd like to know what there we are. I have no idea what was happening there. What very cool there. I would like to know what 1/3 of 9 is equal to. What is 1/3 of 9 equal to? And that's a really, really important question. But what does that mean, 1/3 of 9? Well, here's a bar model. If my whole is worth 9, I want to know what 1/3 of 9 is equal to. Okay, when a third is when I have 3 equal parts. To work out a unit fraction of a quantity, this is what you need to do. You need to divide the amount or the whole by the denominator. To work out a unit fraction when the numerator is 1 of a whole, you need to divide by the denominator. So to work out 1/3 of 9, I need to do 9 divided by 3. How am I going to do that? Well, we know our method for division. I'm going to draw 3 circles, and I'm going to share 9 equally. So I get my 9 cubes. I'll be using cubes today. You might be using paper clips or macaroni. So I've got my 9 cubes, and I'm going to share them equally into my 3 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many is in each group? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That means 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. But what that also means is 1/3 of 9 is equal to 3. 1/3 of 9 is equal to 3. So here, when I had my 9 split into 3 equal groups to find Mr. Wernick had 9 sweets and he ate 1/3 of them. How many did he eat? He ate 3. So that is what you do. To find a unit fraction of an amount, we need to divide by the denominator. Let me do one more example. If I wanted to know, so the whiteboard's always very confusing to move around on here. There we are. If I wanted to know 1/4, why is that a unit fraction, 1/4? Because the numerator is 1. Well done. If I wanted to know 1/4 of 8, what do I need to do? Well, to find a unit fraction of an amount, I need to do the amount divided by the denominator. What's the denominator here? 4. Well done. To do that, I need to do 8 divided by 4. So, what we're going to do now is do 8 divided by 4. What method do I know? The circle method. How many circles am I going to draw? 4. Because I'm dividing by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need to get my cubes together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because that's my whole. So I've got my 8 cubes, and I'm going to divide it equally into 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many is in each group? 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The answer is 2. That means, year 2, 1/4 of 8 is equal to 2. So, if I had a whole, and that whole was equal to 8, and I want to know what 1/4 was, I would split it into 4 equal parts. So that's 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. But I've just worked out 1/4 of 8 is equal to 2. If Mr. Wernick had 8 jumpers and I lost 1/4 of them, how many jumpers did I lose? I lost 1/4. I lost 2 jumpers. Let's do one more, but let's do it together. Okay, my board. So now, year 2, you need your paper ready. You need your macaroni, your paper clips, your own cubes, whatever you are using for your counting. And at the top of your piece of paper, I would like you to write down 1/2 of 10. 1/2 of 10. Who can tell me, once I've done that, give you a second, sorry. Who can tell me why 1/2 is a unit fraction? Talk to your hand, talk to your partner, talk to someone near you. How do you know 1/2 is a unit fraction? Tell me through the computer. Well done. The numerator is 1. When the numerator is 1, we have a unit fraction. Next step. To find a unit fraction of a whole, we need to divide the whole by the denominator. What is my whole here? Well done. Write 10 down. And I need to do my whole divided by my denominator. What is my denominator in 1/2? Well done. It is 2. So to work out 1/2 of 10, I need to do 10 divided by 2. Some of you might know the answer already, but let's use the method we've learned. Next step, year 2. We're dividing by 2. We're going to use the circles method. How many circles are we going to draw? Well done, 2, because we are dividing by 2. Off you go. Now you need to get together your 10 cubes or whatever you are using for your counting. Macaroni, rubbers, sharpeners, pen lids. Don't use pen lids, your pen will go dry, but use something, okay? Now you need to share your 10 evenly. Alternate, watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you guys carry on. Pause the video if you need to. Well done. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many do I have in each group? I have 5. Do you have 5 in each group? Well done. That means 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. It also means 1/2 of 10 is equal to 5. What I'd like you to do now is, if you can, I would like you to draw your hole. So draw your bar model, which is your rectangle. Your hole is worth 10, which goes on the outside. And then you want to know what half is. And when we have a half, we have 2 equal parts. And now I know each half is worth 5. You've now represented it as a bar model. If I had 10 sweets and I ate 1/2 of them, I've eaten 5, because 1/2 of 10 is equal to 5. Right, let's see if you can do one more question by yourself using your cubes or your pasta and so forth. Right, one more question. What is 1/3 of 6? Now, pause the video. Using your physicals, using your concrete materials, I would like you to have a go at solving this. So if you want to have a go completely by yourself, pause now. If you want me to go through it with me, carry on watching. And if you're now watching after pausing yourself, let's see if you get the same answer. So 1/3 of 6, 1/3 of 6. Well, that's a unit fraction because the numerator is 1. To find a unit fraction of an amount, I need to do the amount, which is 6, and divide it by the denominator. The denominator is 3. So I need to do 6 divided by 3. What method do I know? What method do I know? I know the circle method. If I'm doing 6 divided by 3, I need to draw 3 circles. Now I can share my whole, which is 6, my amount, which is 6, into those 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what your sheet should, or your worksheet should look like so far. 6 divided by 3. How many is in each group? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. What does that mean? 1/3 of 6 is equal to 2. Now, can you show that in, I'll do it in black, can you show that in a bar? Well, what's my whole? My whole was 6. My whole was 6. And I divided it, and I wanted to know what 1/3 was. So when I have 1/3, I have 3 equal parts. And I just realised each third is worth 2. And that's what your question should look like. So really well done if you managed to do that. Here now are a couple of questions I would like you to have a go at, but you do not need to use the concretes. We're going to use just pictorial. We're going to draw, okay? I will do one for you first and show you how I want to lay it out. So watch me. What is 1/4 of 12? Well, to work out 1/4 of 12, I need to do the whole divided by the denominator. Why? It's a unit fraction. My numerator is 1. So I need to do 1/4 of 12. So watch me. 12 divided by 4. I'm not going to write 12 divided by 4. I know that's what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is do my 4 circles because I'm dividing by 4. And then I'm going to share my whole of 12 into my 4 circles. And watch me with my pen now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many is in each group? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1/4 of 12 is equal to 3. Let me do one more. What is 1/3 of 9? Well, it's a unit fraction because the numerator is 1. My whole is 9. I need to do my whole divided by the denominator because that will tell me what 1/3 of 9 is. So I need to do 9 divided by 3. Well, if I'm dividing by 3, I have 3 circles. Now I need to do 9 divided by 3. So share my 9 equally into these 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1/3 of 9 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you wanted to be a real superstar, you could draw your whole. So if I was doing this question here, 1/4 of 12, and 1/4, I have 4 equal parts. Each part is worth 3. For this question, my whole was worth 9, and I shared it into 3 equal parts, and each third was worth 3. 1/3 of 3 is equal to 9. 1/4 of 12 is also equal to 3. Right, now you are going to do some questions yourself. You're going to do some questions yourself. We're not going to be doing it on worksheets. This is now your independent. You need to solve these. Please do the first 2 questions now. Pause the video. Well done if you got these correct. And you did 16 divided by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. 1/4 of 16 is 4. If my whole was 16 and I split it into 4 equal parts to show quarters, each quarter would be worth 4. If Arsenal scored 16 goals and Aubameyang scored 1/4, he scored 4 of the goals, 4 of the 16 goals. Next question you had to solve was 1/2 of 8. Well, it's a unit fraction because the numerator is 1. I do the whole divided by the denominator. The denominator is 2, so I have 2 circles, and I need to do 8 divided by 2. I need to share 8 equally into 2 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Therefore, 1/2 of 8 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. If Miss Head and Miss Baldwin went on a picnic together and they shared 8 sandwiches, each teacher would get 4 sandwiches. So, if my whole is 8 and I had shared it into 2 equal halves, each half is worth 4. Really, really well done. Last question. Last 2 questions. So, if you got those 2 right so far, well done. Last 2 questions for your independent work. Off you go. Pause the video, please. Well done. Let's see if you were right. Let's have a look. So 1/5 of 10. 1/5 of 10. Well, I know I need to do the whole It'll be the whole divided by the denominator. That's how you work out a unit fraction of an amount. You do the whole divided by the denominator. Just for those who need to see it one more time, that would be 10 divided by 5. To do 10 divided by 5, I need to do 5 circles, because that's what I'm dividing by. 1, 2, 3, 4, to here, 5. And now let's share my 10 equally into the 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, no, not 11, because I'm sharing 10, sorry. How many's in each group? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It is 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2. That means 1/5 of 10 is equal to 2. And if you showed up on your worksheet and you showed it as a bar model, my whole was 10, and I shared it into 5 equal groups. Okay, because it was fifths, each group was worth 2. If Mr. Wernick had 10 donuts and he ate 1/5 of them, we know he ate 2 of them. Last question, 1/4 of 20. Well, my unit fraction is 1/4, and to find a unit fraction of a whole, we do the whole divided by the denominator. The denominator here is 4. So I need to do 4 circles, because I'm dividing by 4. And I'm going to share my 20 into the 4 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many's in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. 1/4 of 20 is equal to 5. And if I've got enough room here, potentially, if my whole is 20 and I divide it into 4 equal groups or into quarters, I know each quarter is worth 5. Well done if you got all 4 correctly. If you want to write your own question now as a little extension and have a go, I would be really, really impressed. Okay, well done. Hopefully that lesson has made sense with the questions and everything. Remember, a unit fraction is just a fancy word. It's when the numerator is 1. The denominator could be any number, but when if it's a unit fraction, it is when the numerator is 1. If the numerator is not 1, it is not a unit fraction. Who can tell me which one of these is the unit fraction? Which is the unit fraction here? Is it 1/4 or is it 2/3? Why? Well done. 1/4 is the unit fraction because the numerator is 1. 2/3 is not a unit fraction because the numerator here is 2. Cannot be a unit fraction. Anyway, really, really enjoyed teaching you today. The last challenge question, which I'm not going to work out, but if you really wanted to try, which is greater? Which is greater? 1/3 of 12 or 1/4 of 20? Which is the greater answer? See if you can work it out. Bye-bye.